everybody, and welcome back to the Unexplained Archives, the place to come for your weekly dose of spooky. I am one of your hosts, Jennifer Gettner.
Hello, and I'm Jamie Shea, one of the other hosts.
And this is Roscoe, if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes, and I've got Bailey under the table. You can't see her, but I might step on her and she might yelp. So,
It's
yeah,
dog day. We
it's
got
a
dog
dog day.
days here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be a few cats in the mix.
Oh, I promise there will be some cats in the mix.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
it's
usually is.
awesome. Yes,
Yes, so if you're watching on YouTube, we are trying some new things here. We're trying a new platform of recording. Therefore, because of that, I have to be in a different location. So I don't have like all my fun, spooky things behind me, and I'm in my basement. But
yeah.
we're gonna make it work. And Jamie is uh,
You're gonna
still,
blank wall.
yes. Jamie's
Yes,
still dog sitting. She's still here in
that's
Michigan.
right. Yes, I am. I am still here and I can't believe it's been a week. Or maybe it hasn't been quite a week because we're recording a little early
Yes,
this week.
that's true.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
yes. So
it's
trying
not.
out all kinds of new things.
Yes,
And yeah, and we have a special guest tonight with us.
we
And
do.
then not only that, we're doing things a little differently today. Not just location, not just platform, not just more animals. We've got all kinds of different things we're trying out today. So
We do.
we hope you like it.
We do. We
Yes.
hope you like it. We hope we like it.
We hope we
We're
like it
trying it
too.
all.
I hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope so too.
But it'll be fun. We're down for adventures, and
Yeah,
this is one
we
of
gotta
them.
listen, we're
So,
still new, so we have to figure out what works and what doesn't work, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And then make sure after the episode, stay tuned with us a little bit longer. We are in week 2 of horror movies.
Yes.
Movies for spooky season. So Jamie and I have another one for you this week. Our special guest has one for you this week. So a bonus horror movie. So we've
That's
got more
right.
for you. So make sure you stick around for that. But Jamie, how's it going here in Michigan?
It's going well. I have to say the weather has been perfect. I can't
Yeah,
get enough of being outside. It's just
amazing,
so
isn't it?
gorgeous. It's
Mhm.
sunny, but it's got that cool fall breeze behind it. I was noticing it was like it got close to 80, like 77, but it didn't
Yes,
feel like it because of that cold breeze that's
breathe.
coming in. It's just
Hmm.
awesome.
Yes.
But lots of sunshine and the leaves are starting to change a
Yeah.
little. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
You couldn't get more perfect weather.
No, and it looks like it's gonna be this way for at least the rest of this week.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, my hope is that it's gonna last until Halloween.
Yeah.
I can't
And then
stand
it can
it.
get cold
Cold.
after
Yeah,
that.
I hate
Yeah.
it. I told Hayden today, I was like, it can be, as long as it's beautiful on the 31st, if it wants to snow on November 1st, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
for sure.
I hate when the weather is bad on Halloween, trying to trick or treat.
I
Like
know.
you're in
And it
Michigan.
usually is. It
Oh
usually
yeah,
is
almost always.
bad on Halloween. I don't know why it
Yeah.
does that to us.
Yeah, it is a regular staple for kids in the Midwest for sure, and I'm sure out east to wear their winter coat either like over their costume or maybe somehow if you figure out how to get it under your costume.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how it goes. I
I
mean,
know. It's always princesses with puffer jackets
that's right.
underneath, like princess dresses, like they beautiful gowns with the sequins, and then you've got a puffer
And then you
coat
got your winter coat
underneath.
on top of it. That's how it goes every
It's
time.
hilarious.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh. Yeah, so last Halloween was awesome here. The weather was perfect. We were
Mm.
so lucky, but the one before that, so 2 years ago, there was like a legitimate snowstorm.
Oh, wow.
And there was so much snow. We had to quit early because there was so much snow. It was crazy. So you just don't know what you're gonna get.
No, you don't.
Gotta
But
be,
I'll take it while we've got it. It's just gorgeous.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah, and I got my car back. It
yes.
came, they were saying it was going to be like days before they could even look at it. I got it dropped off, and by the next morning, they're like, "We're done." I'm like, "Okay, let's go get it." So it
That's
wasn't a big deal at
wonderful.
all. I know it's turned out to be a pretty good week
That's
after
good.
all. I know, no
Good.
bad news this week. I can't believe I
Yeah.
don't have any bad news. It's
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, we will celebrate with a super fun show tonight.
Yeah.
Should we bring our guest in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Good. How are both of you guys?
We're good.
Doing good.
Or I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good too.
Good.
We're all good.
We're
All
good.
right.
The
Well, thanks
animals
for
are
having me
good.
on. This
Yeah,
is exciting.
welcome.
Yes.
I've been big fans, and it's
You've
I
been
listen.
big fans?
I've been big
Multiple
fans, and I listen to pretty much every single episode, and it's always nice to hear my name when you guys, when your name gets shout out by celebrities. It's like, oh, that's really cool. So it's
I know.
nice to finally be here.
Well, thanks for coming. It is funny. We do mention you a lot. So this is the infamous Brad.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So Brad, we've talked about before. So Brad has helped us with our podcast a ton because he's an experienced podcaster, and him and Jaime had a podcast together, TV We Love. Brad has now moved on and doing Movies We Love, which we have individually been guests on, and this week is we are both on Movies We Love. So it's the three of us on Movies We Love, and we are discussing Ghostbusters.
Yes.
What a classic.
Yes. And it's perfect because it's just that time of year, right?
It is. And we recorded that, like, what was it, the end of June?
Yeah. It's
Right around
Yeah.
there. And I've been hanging on to it.
So fast.
Yeah, I've been hanging on to it. I've listened to like the first 10 minutes over and over, just, can't wait till this comes out. So it'll be nice to hear like the next hour and 40 minutes of that podcast. But man,
Nice.
if you guys think Jaime and Jennifer, wait till you hear them on the podcast, because they say things that I didn't know people would say. So
It's true. Here on the Unexplained Archives, we keep it fairly PG. We watch our language. We don't get too rowdy, but for some reason we got on Brad's show and it just got
We lost our
let
minds.
loose.
Yeah.
Let loose.
That's
So
true.
yes. So go check it out.
there were a few phrases. Yeah, there were a few phrases I didn't think I would ever hear anybody say. So
Oh wow.
It was a real treat. It was a real treat.
All right.
So
Well, I can't wait to hear it because it's been so long. I don't even
I know.
remember what I've said.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna blush.
yeah.
I know I will be.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but you never know. Maybe it'll find a certain celebrity's ears, and then he could be a guest on the show.
Maybe.
So-
Well,
Maybe.
it wouldn't be the first time. I've been known to shoot my mouth off before on the show about people, and then they actually watch us. So I just decided I'm gonna just start talking about certain celebrities because then then they watch the show. I don't know how it happens.
Yeah.
I said it's like one person. I've had like one person. Like I've said a bunch of stuff and thought, I totally admitted my crush on them and they heard the show. And so like, what are the chances of that? So I'm going to start using big names like, Bradley Cooper. Oh my gosh. Love that guy.
Yeah, that's right.
What's up, Bradley? What's up, Selma Hayek? What's up?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I'm
right.
just gonna start
That's
naming
right.
people and be like, I just love them. And then let's see, then they just listen. Then they just happen to the show.
You'll just have a Christmas list of celebrities.
Right. So yes, there is a particular celebrity. Yes, there's a game we play on Brad's show, and yeah, I got coerced into saying some things. And
I don't know if coerced is the right word.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
volunteered at own free
Yeah.
will. Posters on the wall as a child.
Hey, if we can get that person on as a guest on the show because of my big mouth, hey, I'm good with that.
We need to. We'll
Yes.
see what we can do. We can work together as a team to make that happen. So
Okay.
Because it's a
It's a
particular
deal.
somebody who actually does have like a what do you want to say? Definitely an interest in the paranormal.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 You'll have to tune in.
Yeah. We're going to make everyone go watch
Yeah.
it.
Movies we love, Ghostbusters. It's out now. By the time you're hearing and seeing this, it's out now. So movies we love, it's available everywhere you can listen to a podcast. So definitely check it out. And yeah.
Awesome.
So
good deal.
Yeah.
So we are doing the show a little bit different. We are going to share some tales, some true tales of
True tales.
spookiness, all true.
Mm-hmm.
And we brought Brad on because Brad is a bit of a non-believer. So
That's to put it politely.
Yes, I'm putting it very politely. And we thought it might be interesting to have a bit of a skeptic on the show, just to kind of get that side of things, right? We come on here each week, we bring stories because Jamie and I, it's one of the reasons we started the show. We obviously are believers in the paranormal, or at least our minds are open, right? They're a lot more open now to things. And, we're not knocking anything. Brad, on the other hand, is here to give us his opinion on the paranormal and some of these stories tonight.
Yeah, there was I think both of you are great people, and there was a lot of excitement to appear on the show, but there's also some hesitation because your audience is here because they're believers and I'm not. So I am worried I'll offend some of your listeners just because I have polarizing and strong views of a lot of these subjects. So
I can pretty much guarantee the listening audience today he will offend somebody today.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But we think it's good. I think this is great. I think it's good to bring in other opinions on this particular, the subject matter of the paranormal, right? I mean, listen, we don't know. I mean, obviously, Jamie and I we've had our fair share of experiences.
Right.
And Brad has some beliefs in things.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, tell us a little bit why you do have the opinions that you do on the paranormal.
Okay. I'm glad you set that up. I just feel like I feel like I should say I could easily be a believer if any of these things happened to me. So I should say that. But the logic of every situation just seems like clearly that didn't happen. Like, this is just my brain. Like, clearly that didn't happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't explain each individual situation. But if I was there, I feel pretty confident that I would be like, that's just this, or that's just that, that sort of thing. So to come on, these are things that I've heard before. And I feel strongly like my beliefs align with this as far as like the scientific community, the more maybe medical community, just I would call it logic. You guys would probably call me a skeptic,
Okay.
But as far as like the paranormal aspect of things, the psychological explanation that is most commonly connected to like ghost sightings or anything like that. But yeah, the psychological explanations would be like sleep paralysis, hallucinations, stress, and suggestibility. All of those suggestibility itself can create powerful experiences that feel supernatural. So if you have a group of people together, one person says they see a ghost, it's more likely that a second person would say, "Oh, I saw that ghost too," that sort of thing. And then there's some environmental factors like low frequency noises, also known as infrasound, drafts, mold, drafts itself. My curtains, I've lived in an old house before and I've had curtains, I've had blinds just moving, I feel like that could easily be like, oh, a ghost is in here or something like that. It's like, no, it's clearly a draft. And this previous old house before where I live now, like it would move things from across the room. You could just feel cold air from like 6 feet away. So it was a strong draft coming into this house. So, and I know a lot of people might not think that it was a draft, but yes, wind can be powerful, even if it's just through a small, tiny hole. So also, this is the big one. this is the strongest one connected is in carbon monoxide. That's been linked to sensation of dread, visions, physical symptoms that people have mistaken for haunting. So if you feel like you are seeing ghosts, definitely get a carbon monoxide poison or a carbon monoxide test. So I can't stress that enough. Possession would be another one that drives me kind of crazy. A lot of the symptoms of possession are often linked up with conditions like epilepsy, schizophrenia, dissociative identity disorder. I like to call it DID. That can also just create, and severe trauma can lead to possession symptoms. There's also cultural influences. In places where belief in possession is strong, people are more likely to interpret unusual behavior that way. And there's also never been any physical evidence of a possession. And I also have to call out the Catholic Church for many things, but one is they're always the hero. Anytime you see pop culture, a movie, it is always the Catholic Church that comes to the rescue. So I just feel like it's Catholic Church propaganda so they're the hero. It's just so they get people to come to church and feel guilty about not going to church. So those are just a lot of my belief. I wrote this stuff down so I wouldn't stutter, and I messed up the entire delivery. But
no, I think you made. I mean, listen, we're called the Unexplained Archives for a reason.
I think I would have a podcast called The Explained Archives. So this is what really happened.
Brad explained.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
But Jenna and I have talked. I mean, you've made a lot of good points. Like we're not going to jump into anything blind. I mean, I think I'm speaking for Jen as well. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of spoofs. There are a lot of fakes out there for sure. But I personally have experienced things that can't be explained away by anything that you listed on the list. And honestly, I think a lot of them can. I think that there are plenty of ghost stories out there or UFO stories out there that could be explained away scientifically or medically. I agree with a lot of that, but it only takes one to be true to make it true,
Right.
So that's where we're at. So
now, and I know both of you have had experiences, and I love that for you, but I wasn't there. So like I said, I can't explain that away for you. But I know, Jaime, in your case, you said you've had a particular light that would constantly keep going out. I'm saying, let me tear that house down to the studs. Let me rerun some wire, and I bet you won't have any more electrical issues in that house. I'm just saying, I think I could take care of it. There's a bunch of that stuff. Now, for everything else, like I said, I wasn't there. I can't explain that away.
Right.
For your sake, I believe both of you. The one that makes me laugh, but not in a insulting way, is Jennifer. I believe in the episode you talked about your experiences. You had a ghost flush the toilet.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That made me laugh, not because the toilet flushed, and I believe the toilet did flush. That's not what I'm calling out. The part that makes me laugh is that the ghost was so courteous of using the bathroom that he didn't leave the floater. He just flushed it for you. So, I appreciate the manners that the ghost has. It's
a polite ghost we have here. I'm telling you.
It was a polite ghost. So I love that the ghost is like, I'm going to take a break from haunting. I need to use the bathroom. And then, they flushed for you.
Yeah, so. I know. Although I'll tell you what, the thing that made that actually spooky for me was not even so much the toilet flush, because that couldn't even be explained, right? People have plumbing issues and things can do things like that. What got me is that particular toilet seat has one of those suspension things and it can't slam. And you would have to use, I've tried, the thing will start slowly going down, and I've tried pressing it down to be and the suspension on both, you would have to use such a force to slam that down, and that's what had happened, and that's what woke us up. was
Yeah.
slammed and then immediately then flushed after that.
Wow.
So that's my thing. It would take a lot. It was no accident. It can't just be, even a cat, right? Can't quite knock
Or
that
the
down.
wind. The wind.
Right.
Yeah, there was nothing quite like that. So that's what kind of gets me.
Now, I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm sure it can be picked apart easily, but have you heard of exploding head syndrome?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Is there a chance there was just a loud noise in your head and you're like, that was the toilet lid slamming shut?
So I wasn't the only one who heard it.
Okay.
Yes. So it wasn't just me there, and normally the lid, not the seat, because the toilet seat has to go down. That's the rules. However, the lid that goes on top of that, we usually just keep that open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For immediate use. You don't need, that's one less.
That's right.
You get right in there and you do your business.
Right.
And so that just stays open. So that was what had come down. And so by the time I had gone in there to investigate, that seat was down, but that had to have been it, the sound. And it wasn't
Okay.
me.
Okay.
My house is haunted, Brad.
Look,
It's haunted.
I'm not against it being haunted. I'm just saying there's nothing to make me believe that it's haunted. But I don't live there. I'm not there. But it just, my brain doesn't compute in that way where it just does not.
That was a cat. That was.
Yeah. Did you see it? Did you see it?
It was a blur. It was a blur. So, like.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
if you're not watching on YouTube, that it was just Frank. Everybody,
You're missing out.
running
You're
around.
missing out.
But yeah, my brain just can't compute stuff like that just because I've never experienced it. Now, it's fun to freak yourself out. I've been on plenty of late night walks where I've just like, what if I saw somebody just walking in the middle of the street towards me? And then I just start going through scenarios in my head. And I feel like that's self-suggestibility where I kind of, wait, we just saw that cat. How can it be there again?
Like that's the Matrix.
Yes.
Explained.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
We haven't even dove into
Right.
it.
No.
Right. But like if you're already looking for it, then you might see it. So I feel like that's sort of my point too. So if you want your house to be haunted, like maybe you're looking for your house to be haunted.
Yeah.
That's
I don't really want my house to be haunted though.
No. I've never said let's go. Let's have some ghosts in here.
right.
Yeah, that's never been that's never crossed my mind. These are things that just happen, and I have talked about on the show especially with my current house. There are some things I can completely explain away 100%.
Mm-hmm.
There are things things falling down, what I'm saying, like there's certain things that have happened since living here that I can totally maybe that was this, and
Right.
but there have been a couple of things where I can't. I've tried, because here's the deal. As much as I'm into the paranormal, for me, my first thought is I have Hayden. At the time, we moved here. He's 9 years old. I don't want anything like that because he's
right.
sensitive to things, and I would like for him to sleep in his own bed. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And so if I'm wishing this or wanting this or discussing it or bringing it on or whatever the case may be, I just don't, because I want a peaceful home. That would be
Right.
great. It just so happens I personally feel every house I've lived in, there has been some very unexplained paranormal activity in each and every one of them.
Yeah. There is part of me that feels, even though I don't believe in ghosts, I want there to be ghosts because, like, what else are you going to do after you die?
Of course, right.
Like, there's so much I want to see. I hope I still get to travel.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
That too. I love the idea of life after death. I think
Right.
So for me, some of this is just downright comforting. I wish sometimes we would have, less noisy ghosts, or I don't like pushy ghosts. We're going to talk about one today.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
how how come ghosts always look a particular way though? Like where's
they?
Michael Jackson's ghost? Yeah, aren't they all
A woman in white?
historical people? Like where is
No.
where's Doug from 1999 on his way to work?
Oh,
Like
there's
where's his ghost?
modern ghosts.
Well,
There's definitely modern ghosts. Yeah.
you never hear of them. Like,
you do.
well, when did you guys talk about one?
Well, I mean, Teresita.
Yes, yeah. Teresa
One.
Wassa was only from the
Yeah.
the 80s. Yeah, I'm sure. And
There's
I don't,
several.
yeah, and I don't know. Listen, when living here, I've never seen. No, that's not true. Of course, I did. I think anything that I've personally seen has been more in the form of a shadow figure here,
Right.
and in previous homes. So it's been a long time, and I don't think I've ever discussed it on the show. So I have actually seen full body apparition. So as a kid, I could see, and like really young as a toddler, and these were full, like they looked very solid to me. I used to have conversations with them, and after a certain point, I got a little bit scared by it. But when I was really like a toddler, I didn't know that they were any different. It got to the point I talked to my parents about it. I'd get up in the morning and tell them, because usually they would come like at night. They would come and wake me up out of my bed. And so, or even during the day, my parents would tell me, you have an imaginary friend. Well, the thing is I remember seeing them, and they looked like solid people. I even had a conversation. I didn't talk about that at all, because that seemed like someone's going to think I'm a total nut job. So I didn't discuss that stuff, or they're going to say you were just a kid. How are you going to, that's just your
right.
Right. So I actually talked to my parents about it before, my mom had passed, and before my this has been some years, and I had said, do you guys remember me telling you about this? And they were like, oh yeah, I remember. And I said, it was real. I said, I remember it. These were full apparitions, and I don't remember all our conversations, but that was really the last time I saw anything quite like that. Anything really in my adult life has been more of a shadow figure. I will say though, one of the spirits that came to me when I was a kid, she was in full like pioneer garb.
Yeah.
She was a pioneer woman.
She's getting her revenge from the Oregon Trail.
Right.
Like.
Yeah. What is it they would get on the Oregon Trail?
Dysentery.
Yeah.
Probably had dysentery.
Yeah.
Trying to let me know.
That's so funny.
But yes,
I would love to hear some modern ghost stories. If any of our listeners have some, if you've seen an apparition that wasn't in like Victorian garb, or
like somebody that looks like MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Parachute pants or skids. Remember skids? Somebody who tight rolled their jeans, their ankles. Like if that ghost is walking around, let us
where's
know.
our 80s ghost?
Let them know.
1980s ghost. We need some.
I want to see some 90s, maybe early 2000 spirits. That would be cool. But no, I get exactly what you're saying, Brad. Yes, right. People report a lot of, like I said before, you got the woman in white. You see them by the road. You see them in the woods. They're I get that. In the cemetery, it's always someone. You go.
The movies don't help either.
No, of course not, because they're always because it is expected to have a particular look, right? Spirits are supposed to have a particular look, and it's supposed to be very old timey, and we don't think about modern day spirits. So I totally understand that point.
I did want to bring up something.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that, but that is a good point. And there's so many things we don't know the answer to. Like, what if that's a thing? I mean, maybe there's ghosts can't come back until a certain point. Maybe in 100 years from now, we'll get the MC Hammer pants. Ghosts.
And that's
those people.
That's fair that you said that too. Like, there's no way to know until like I've picked this side, you guys have picked that side, and that's totally fine. Okay, something else I was thinking, and you brought it up, Jennifer, the shadowy figures, it triggered this for me too. Ouija boards. I think they're fun toys. I would play with one right now without hesitation.
I got
no
some.
hesitation whatsoever. I would do it. I've always heard, and I want to say this, when I was a kid, and I did believe, I always heard the year, this was before Milton Bradley got into it, but the year the Ouija board was crafted was the year the ghost you would talk to. Like, that's the year they became the ghost. So if you had a really old Ouija board, basically your Ouija board symbolized when the ghost was born, like when the ghost became a ghost. So, and I always heard it takes two people to play, not one person.
Yeah,
So,
you're not supposed to do it with one person.
yeah,
I mean,
I saw that movie Ouija board. I think it was with Tawny Kitaen in the late 80s, and it was actually not bad for a late 80s horror movie. But yeah, I think she played by herself and she got possessed or was haunted.
Right.
I would do it without hesitation right now. I would call for to be possessed. I have no problem with any of that stuff. No problem.
Man.
No problem.
Fire.
Oh.
Now, if I die on the way home tonight, I'm on board, just so you know. And and just so you know, if I pass away and I have a chance to come back and haunt either of you, I will make Skittles the code word, okay? You'll see Skittles everywhere. That way you'll know. That way you will know it's Brad. So anything else, if it's like, oh, that's a butterfly, just that must be Brad. I saw a butterfly. No, it'll be Skittles. Skittles are good, but I just want something unique to where you guys will know Skittles, that's Brad. So don't be sad. If you see Skittles, I'm doing okay. I'm just in the next world. So,
okay.
All right.
Good to know.
But I'm not worried about any of that stuff. To me, that moves further back. It's like aliens, I think, are real. Have they been here? I don't know. Aliens, I think, could exist. I honestly don't know if they have been here. I think it seems likely they've been here based on some of the things I've seen, like military video, that type of stuff, like a little bit more believable. Like aliens, I'm on board. Okay. Ghosts, I'm not on board, but like they're next up, you know. Then it's like below that is possession, like demons and stuff. I'm not on board, but they're behind ghosts. And then last would be like Sasquatch, all of the, what are they called? Cryptids. Man, those things, when you listening to episodes where you guys talked about cryptids really raised my blood pressure. And I did, just because the people that are on board with that, it's hard for me to fathom that. And every picture or video of Bigfoot is always open to interpretation. Nobody has time to grab their phone. Nobody has a clear photo, nothing. All the trail cams in the world, they can't catch Bigfoot. Not a clear photo unless it's a dude in a suit. So like that sorry, I had to get that off my chest. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about now.
Have you ever hit a deer with your car?
Yeah.
Did you take a picture of it when you hit it?
If it was Bigfoot, I would take a picture of it. Everybody's seen a deer. Everybody has seen a deer.
Right. But have you had a deer like run in front of your car real quick?
Yeah.
Did you take a picture of it?
No. Why would I? If I saw Bigfoot, I would turn around and go back for Bigfoot.
I know,
but you could go back for the deer. The deer would be gone.
Right.
If you
That's
go back
a horrible
for Bigfoot,
analogy.
Bigfoot would
These
be
are
gone.
two separate things.
No, it's not.
But if I wanted to go find a deer in the woods, I could find a deer in the woods.
Yeah, but some people have gone into the woods and they found Bigfoot.
No, they haven't.
There's all kinds of footage out there.
There's not.
There is
not. Yeah. Oh my God. That's not a good argument. Get on the internet. You can find anything if you get on the internet. There's no Bigfoot. I'm sorry, listeners. Unexplained Archives. I'll explain that one. No Bigfoot. No Bigfoot.
You just broke so many hearts right now.
I'm sorry. Look, and I would love there to be a Bigfoot. I would want there to be a Bigfoot. I love the Jack Link's commercial, Sasquatch. He looks like a cool dude, Like I'm down with that Bigfoot, but he's not out there. So
yeah. My thing is when you are surprised in the woods by a Bigfoot,
which doesn't happen.
Hard to get a photo of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
Yes,
people have been surprised by bears in the woods, and they've
they don't
gotten
whip out
photos.
their cameras.
But cameras have been whipped out. People
Cameras
have
been whipped
video.
out with
People,
that, too.
people have videos of bear attacks, of bears in the woods, like dangerous situations. People have video of dangerous situations in the woods. Not once have they had a dangerous situation with a Bigfoot.
Do we know if those bears were real?
Fair point. Fair point. I've only seen bears in the zoo. So
There you go.
The AI bears. We live in a whole
That's
other
right.
world right now.
yeah,
That's right.
fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Which, by the way, I will say, as a side note, AI is going to just, I feel honestly, paranormal, any type of, what do I want to say? Evidence, if people grab it, it's going to be near impossible. I feel like these
Yeah.
days.
It is getting really
Right.
difficult.
It
I
is.
will say that, because with AI, you can do anything you want. The common
Yeah.
person, and listen, before Photoshop and editing in any time, I mean, any type of editing software, that was easy enough as it was. Now AI has made it even more. It's just easier. It's even easier. So now I will say differentiating between what may be real and what is not is going to be almost impossible now. So
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just saw on the news recently that an AI actress is getting an agent. She is completely
Oh,
fake.
yeah.
And an
I
agent,
saw
an
that
agency
too.
is going to hire her.
Jesus.
That
So-
makes no sense to me at all. I
No.
just don't get it.
Yep.
I mean, listen, there's so many cool things AI can do. The three of us have had these
Mhm.
conversations before. You know, we talk,
Yes.
especially when it comes to like movie things. AI
Right.
can do all kinds of stuff. AI has helped do all kinds of things. However,
Mhm.
it's going to change our lives, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
things like that, I'm just like, oh lordy, I think it's
No.
crazy to me. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's
And that's a whole nother thing. There's just got to be some kind of regulations around it, you know?
or they're
But
going to
that's a
have to
whole
create
nother.
them, because there will be no use for any of us anymore.
Yeah.
No,
They won't need
exactly.
any of us for anything.
I feel
Yeah.
like we could talk about AI for hours.
Right.
I know for sure. Yep.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So we definitely we know now where Brad stands
Yes.
on the paranormal and anywhere from ghosts to cryptids. So I'm going to start out with aliens, because you said that's a possibility for you.
Mhm.
Now, is it a possibility for you because you think maybe some of the things that you've seen are a little more believable?
I think the thing that comes into play for me most is just that, there's so many planets and systems within a habitable zone of each star that just mathematically there's some sort of, whether it's just like a tiny molecular level sort of a thing, like microscopic life type alien, or if it's full on alien beings. I just think it's very possible in a galaxy far, far away. I just think it's very possible that I consider that first. And that just because you can't believe everything you see, but I have seen fighter jets, and I've heard astronauts talk, and I've heard scientists talk, credible people. They've talked about what they've seen, and it's enough for me to be like, this is the most plausible. I wouldn't say I'm all in. I'm all in on the idea that aliens exist somewhere in our universe, but I would say it's plausible that they've been here, but I'm not fully on board with that.
But you feel more comfortable because you feel like the people are credible.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you not feel Jaime and I are credible people?
I feel you believe something happened, and I respect your experiences. Just because I disagree. Like I said, I wasn't there.
You
I
weren't there
can't-
when the other credible people were talking about aliens and maybe some of the things that they have seen.
Then no, I don't think you guys are credible. If there has to be a line drawn, I've already picked my side. Like I don't know what you guys saw. It wasn't a ghost. I don't know what slammed your toilet. It wasn't a ghost. I don't know what messes with your light bulb. It wasn't a ghost.
Was it an alien? Maybe
That's more
Could it
likely.
have been an alien?
More likely.
Toilet aliens.
Yeah,
Hey, aliens might have to pee and poo.
I'm sure they do.
that's true. Yeah.
So
I'm sure they do. Well, let's talk about the situation that happened not so long ago. This was just last year, New Year's Day, 2024. A chaotic scene had unfolded at Bayside Marketplace in Miami, Florida. Had you guys heard about this story at all?
no.
Yeah, I have to say. And this actually kind of swept the internet when it happened. And this was news to me. So,
Yeah.
I found it interesting. So, there was a large group of teenagers that got into a fight with sticks, specifically. They got into a stick fight.
Where do they get these sticks?
I don't know, but they look like some of the sticks. They look like
Forever 21.
sticks. Yeah. Apparently, you can walk right. It was like the karate store. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like nunchucks?
Yeah,
Like,
they look like jujitsu sticks.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they were just practicing their jujitsu, and it caused a very big scene. A big fight had broken out. 4 of the kids actually got arrested. I do know that. So this actually prompted the police to come and show up, and at some point it sounds like fireworks were let off, which then concerned some of the people in the mall that this could be like a shooting, right? You hear the popping, and so this is how that situation started. Then it became something a lot more. Initially, it was unrelated to UFOs or aliens, but blurry videos and speculative posts quickly circulated online, claiming something extraterrestrial was there at play. So witnesses reported seeing a being 8 to 10 feet tall, a shadowy figure wandering around the area, and strange lights were also near the marketplace. Rumors then exploded. I told you online, this apparently was huge. I clearly live under a rock because I missed this completely.
Yeah, me too.
But a lot of people had said they are claiming they saw a tall, unidentifiable figure resembling an alien that was just outside the mall. There was actually a huge police response. I had sent you guys some footage. We're going to also make sure to post the footage, so if our listeners are not aware of this or have seen any of this, they can see. There were clearly hundreds of police officers outside this mall. There was dozens of cop cars just lining the streets of this place. Some have even said that inside the mall, a portal had opened. Now, I've heard a couple things. I've heard that the portal opened in the mall and the aliens had come out of the portal. I had also heard that military had come out of this portal, grabbed the aliens, and then brought them back through this portal. This is being claimed by some. So witnesses have also come out, and some have, there was some claim of some video footage. I've heard some stories that video footage was then taken away from them. There was, police officers, threatening and things like that. There was one guy in particular who had claims of having the best footage. He had actually come out online. Some are now saying that he has now either disappeared or he has gone into hiding since this situation because government could be after him for having this particular footage. So you guys have seen it. There is footage. It did make the news. For sure, down in Florida, where in this particular clip, it's aerial footage. You see the police officers lining the street, and there appears to be something quite large, kind of pacing back and forth right outside the mall where the cops are kind of like surrounding the area, right? So when you see something like that, Brad, what are your thoughts on that?
Where's the body cam footage? That's my thought.
A lot of people
How come
have
it's just
said that.
it's just that one shot from the helicopter, which I feel like was probably on the news. That could have easily been pulled, and somebody just adds whatever that figure was. I didn't see a body when I looked at that footage. I saw, I would have called it a ghost based on that. it did not look believable. The animation of it, the movement of it, did not look like it matched the frame rate of the video.
Sure.
It seemed highly unlikely that it was an alien.
Okay.
So, and for somebody that believes in aliens, I don't think that was an alien. That just looked like a blur on the video to me.
Yeah, Jaime, what were your thoughts? You saw this happen. What were your thoughts about the fact that many police were called in for a teenage stick fight?
Yeah, that's what gets me is that if it was just a stick fight, there would be, maybe 2 or 3 cop cars at the most show up. Clearly, I don't know what it was, but clearly something else was going on to get that much of a response from officers. Again, it was 2024. I mean, I feel like there were, there's stuff out there that they could have added, a creature or a ghost or something or an alien to the footage, but there's definitely something there that we can see. But again, I would love to see other angles and other footage, and so this is one where I want more information, but why were there so many officers there? Clearly, there's more than just a stick fight going on. I just don't know what it was.
Sure.
What was it?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, Brad, what do you think about the fact that the streets were just lined with cops? Do you need that many officers for a stick fight?
Stick fight, no, but didn't you say that fireworks going off and a possible shooting was reported mistakenly for fireworks?
No, it actually wasn't a shooting. So a shooting didn't happen. I guess what I'm saying is that fireworks, there was some talks that possibility that fireworks went off. That could have been a possibility where people are like, oh, we got a shooting, right? We're here at the mall.
Right.
Then maybe that many cops were called in for something such as that.
Because they hear it's a gang, a group of kids. They don't know how many, I understand they're fireworks, but if shooting is being reported, like they might not realize, how many people are there with guns, even though it's just fireworks, that sort of thing. And because it's New Year's Eve, you definitely don't want things getting out of hand. You don't want it to turn into a situation where there's a crowd of people, and that might be another thing too. If it's New Year's Eve, it could be like
it's New Year's Day though. After the party,
right?
Yeah.
Well, is it New Year's Day because it's after midnight?
Yeah, it was January 1st. It was the evening of January 1st.
So like 11 p.m. January 1st?
No, the mall was open. So
okay.
Mall hours, if you will, on January 1st.
Okay. All right. Because my next thought could have been, if it was, it does make sense now, but my original thought was if it was New Year's Eve, maybe, like Times Square, there'd be so many people there, you would naturally have that many cops there. But if it was New Year's Eve, then that doesn't make sense. I just feel like maybe they were responding to, what they thought was going to be a mass shooting or a gang fight involving guns or something like that. Some sort of misunderstanding. But
why wouldn't they say that? Why wouldn't the officers say, hey, we thought something else was going on here. We sorry, we sent everybody on our force in for this. It was a big misunderstanding. None of that was ever said. It just became this mouth zipper, So,
I'm thinking of that footage though, that we did get to see. We don't know the line of cop cars that we see. We don't know if that's connected to the helicopter vehicle. We know that there's cop cars in that shot, but it's a different shot showing us the line of cop cars. So this could all just be edited together. Like we don't know.
Right. If we're going off of just that video, but
that's all we have.
That's all we have. That's all I've seen. But apparently there were a lot of things being circulated, but no one ever said that the cops responded and said.
Well, the cops did respond and say that there absolutely was not any aliens. And then they shared the emoji, like the palm to the face thing. Like, I can't believe this is being discussed, which at this time, I would believe the police department that there absolutely was not an alien. Um, I don't think if it's that many people, you cannot silence that many people. There would be body cam footage of hundreds of police officers. If there's a portal inside the mall, there's people inside the mall. Somebody is filming that portal. Like, where is that stuff? And I know only one
on the
guy.
internet. I do have a clip of the supposed portal. I did not share it with
Okay.
you guys because
Okay.
I'm even struggling with the portal portion of stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but again, like I feel like even though it went viral then, Jennifer, before today, had you heard of that story?
No, that's the thing.
I feel like if it was that big, we would have known. Like if there's a portal being discovered, some things I just don't think you miss out on, you know?
I don't know, but that's with aliens. That happens all the time. Government
That's the thing. The government
records
comes
come
along.
out later,
Mhm.
or never,
Right.
I get that part of it, but there's just so many innocent bystanders involved that it would be out. The whole world would know before they had a chance to silence it. I think people would be live streaming on Facebook, and you can't say, well, Facebook would pull it down. Facebook live streams people murdering other people. Like that's happened. So like, I feel like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all have the ability to live stream before those platforms know to take them down. So essentially the entire world would see it before the government had any chance to respond to that, because the bystanders are there before the government is involved.
Sure. I do think it is hard today to stop people from posting absolutely anything on the internet, and it would need a quick response. I know this is a different kind of thing, but I heard this story and I just kept thinking of the assassination of President Kennedy, right? I mean, I think back then how, it wasn't that common to have obviously cameras and things like that, but there was footage of that. There's talks of, that footage having extended. There's more to it. And maybe for a later date, I actually got a chance 20 plus years ago to see what that footage. I saw some extra footage that was connected to it. I don't know.
Oh,
We can talk about the conspiracy theory of President Kennedy at some point, but interesting stuff. However, I couldn't help but think of that. Obviously, this was on a much bigger scale with like Brad is saying, many other people who have phones. How can you stop all those people from doing that? However, Brad, you also brought up a good point as far as body cam footage. No one is getting that out. Now, why don't they just show it and be like, look, we were right there.
Yes.
Nothing's there, but they're not. So I feel like this is on both points. Sure, a lot of these people have not necessarily released, what they have. However, the cops could clear this up. Just show clearly there's police officers right there by wherever this figure is seen from the helicopter footage. Just show it to us then if this isn't.
Yeah. So that can work on both sides. Yeah.
But I just feel like there's nothing to show. That's the thing.
Then show us.
But how do we know? Yeah, show us nothing then.
Nothing.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I can't speak for the police department. I'm just from what I saw, the video evidence that they did provide. If there was an alien, it looked like the alien was blurred out. Like it was not clear footage.
Maybe they don't move in the same pace, the way we move. That's what I think.
That's fair too. That's fair too.
Aliens don't move the way we move. Maybe it's just a theory of mine.
Yeah.
So
no, that's totally fair. Like we don't know what aliens would look like.
Yeah.
Do they look like giant? Yeah.
Maybe Sasquatch doesn't move the same way.
If he's bipedal or whatever it is.
Bipedal.
Bipedal. Tomato. If he's bipedal, he would most likely walk like a person, a human being.
Aliens are bipedal.
We don't know that.
Well, the common sightings of aliens or the grays have two legs for the most part. We're going
Yeah.
based on sightings and what people have
Yeah.
seen.
But they've also been little green men. So now this one's 8 feet
maybe
tall.
there's hairy versions of aliens. Maybe Sasquatch is just a hairy alien. How do you know?
I don't know. He's trying to just rile me up. No.
I mean, honestly, that's our goal by the end of the show.
Look,
we can get
and
something.
you spin it that way. Well, maybe Sasquatch is just a hairy alien. Well, that's more plausible to me than there just being a giant ape bipedal thing living in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's been so many sightings.
No, there hasn't.
Oh, you haven't seen one, but there are a lot of people that say they have seen
who
one.
Can't seem to ever get a clear photo or video of it.
Neither can people of aliens either.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not on board with aliens being here.
You said it's possible.
Yes, it is possible.
Even.
It is plausible. It is plausible.
Okay.
And
I'm just gonna leave that out there.
It is plausible.
There's even a theory when it comes to Bigfoot as well as other cryptids, kind of going back to our portal situation. There is thought that maybe they are multidimensional creatures, so they can kind of come and go from our dimension to possibly another one. So that is a theory. That's also a theory very much for aliens, the way that they travel as well.
I'm not on board with that, but I have heard an argument before. Why is it so easy for aliens to travel through outer space and we can't figure it out? And the counterpoint is, well, maybe they can't figure out how to make popcorn, but it's easy for us to do popcorn,
That's certainly possible.
So, yeah.
Well, we're here to teach them.
Yeah.
They can teach us how to travel. I'll show you how to make some popcorn.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm on board with that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's easy enough. Problem solved.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be on board with ghosts being interdimensional travelers.
Sure.
That takes a step towards a little bit more. I know it probably sounds crazy, and it's like, well, why are you for that, but not everything else? That for some reason, like it makes me think of the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman. I don't know if everybody watching is familiar with that, but I loved that twist at the end, and I was like, that one gets you thinking. So for that reason, like I said, I'm open to the possibility of almost everything, never Sasquatch, but almost anything.
How about fairy?
But yeah, it just hasn't happened to me, so I can't buy into it yet.
Okay.
But if I saw something where I was like, that was a ghost, then like you guys, I would not care what anybody else said. I know what I saw. So I just haven't had that experience yet. Therefore, it doesn't exist. So
I do know that you had an experience of something, and I kind of would like to hear your explanation of it. So you had told us a story that you were in the basement of your previous place.
Yeah.
And you heard, go ahead, you tell it. This is your story. You tell us what.
I was doing some work in the basement of this extremely old house that probably has mold and carbon monoxide poisoning. And as I was doing, and it was late at night too, so I could have been sleep deprived and maybe some suggestibility, but I feel like I heard a little girl's voice go, "Hello?" like that. And from that moment, I was up the stairs, and these were not stairs that were easy to climb up. Now, my actual explanation of that was my imagination, because I was thinking about it. I was like, it'd be crazy if I heard a ghost right now, but that's not as fun to say. So I feel like my imagination caused me to hear hello like that. So it might not be a little girl, definitely a little kid, but that was what my imagination conjured up. So that was the closest I could say, but I 99%, I'll drop it to 93% sure that it was just my imagination.
All right. We almost got you.
We almost.
Almost. But there was nothing else involved with that house. And I was there for 4 years. Nothing else in that house made me think this is paranormal. Now, the basement was creepy. Like, it was not a cool basement, and it flooded a lot, and I didn't go down there. So if I was down there, I would definitely encourage one of my kids to come with me, or I would only go down during the day, like it's tomorrow's problem sort of thing. I definitely would not go down there at night, but that's because I'm a chicken, not because I believe in ghosts or anything like that.
But what are you scared of then?
The boogeyman.
Well, what's the boogeyman?
Well, whatever I want it to be. It could be Michael Myers. It could be Freddy Krueger. Whatever. It
So
could
like
be
serial killer, boogeyman.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's still inside my head. It could be an axe murderer that may or may not exist. So,
And those are legit scary.
but it's still all in my head, is what I'm saying. Like, no matter what, it's me against my imagination in the dark of this spider-filled basement. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna move on to something that is also bipedal. And are you guys familiar with the Michigan Dogman?
Yeah.
Sounds like a bear.
Different.
I want to
say
Michigan Dogman.
I want to say I've heard Michigan Dogman. I can't say I've ever heard a story about the Michigan Dogman.
Okay. A lot of times before I was doing even a little more research on it, I had always kind of lumped the Dogman in with Bigfoot. And I maybe, there's some possible similarities to that, but I think he has more dog-like canine features, hence the name. And so this could be something a bit different, but possibly similar. So I will share a couple of encounters with the Michigan Dogman. So the first Dogman encounter was witnessed all the way back in 1887. And this was in Wexford County, Michigan.
You know where that is? Is that the UP?
It's probably just below the UP, like upper part of Michigan. That seems to be where Dogman likes to hang out. So during that time, logging was absolutely huge, and especially, Michigan was just one of those logging states. And so there were 2 loggers at the time, and they had come back to camp because they were scared. They had just seen a large creature come out of the woods. They described it as being 7 feet tall, amber-colored eyes, bipedal, canine-like animal with the torso of a man. Now, they heard it before they actually saw it, so they could hear, first the usual, the rustling was happening, but this particular creature had a howl to it that sounded more like a human scream. So they came back to camp. They kind of explained to everybody what they'd heard. They were freaked out. They were ready to leave because this was like nothing they had seen before. Now, bears, possibility, but this thing was walking around on its bipedals.
Every time my feet hurt, I'm gonna say my bipedals hurt.
Yeah.
Man, my bipedals are sore.
We're bringing this back. Great. Everyone's gonna be using bipedals.
Yes, I love it.
Because it is the buzzword when you're explaining anything in this type of arena.
Yes, bipedal.
So obviously, yes, it does definitely. It had more features. At the time they couldn't pull out their smartphone. Back in in 1887 to see it, but they were witness to it, and this was something. These are big logging men, right? And they had seen all kinds of other things, and they were used to. Like, there's just certain things that come with the territory when that is going to be your job. This was something completely different that freaked them both out completely. And like they said, the thing was howling as it was coming out. So they took off. They both felt like they got a good look at it. This is the first sighting of Dogman that is on record, although Native Americans have a history of talking about Dogman as well as, something that they believe in. Native American culture and folklore we could have an entire episode on things like that.
Yeah.
And so, I won't dive too much into that, but Dogman is something that they have brought up before. Jumping ahead, way past 1887, we're into 1937. Robert Fortney had an encounter with what he believed to be Michigan Dogman. He was 17 years old at the time, and he was fishing along the Muskegon River near Paris, Michigan, which I'll get out my map for
Yeah.
So we're looking, in this general vicinity right here seems to be where Dogman and Upper, and that seems to be where he is. And there's been sightings on the west side as well as a little bit more towards the middle. So that seems to be where he likes to hang out. And so Paris is up there. I had to look at it. I was like, oh, we've got Paris and Michigan. Awesome. I'd never
Yeah.
but Muskegon River I was aware of. But he was fishing along the Muskegon River. This is interesting to me. So a pack of wild dogs came out and actually started to try and attack him. He saw them coming, and he actually had his shotgun with him. So he just fired his gun, which then scared the dogs away. So they turn around, they take off running. These were not bipedal. These were all four-legged canine dogs.
Would that be quadpedal?
Yeah, quadpedal.
I like a QPED for short.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they all turned around, took off, with the exception of one. One stayed there. The dog started staring at the man for a while, then eventually stood up on two legs, and it was clearly much bigger than the other dogs. And obviously, regular dogs can't stand up on two legs. This particular creature stood and stared at him for a while, as if to show the boy that he wasn't afraid of what he had. And then eventually he slowly turned around and walked away towards the pack of dogs.
On two legs?
On his bipedals.
Woo.
So there are several stories of this happening where it's not just Dogman. Dogman has been coming with a pack of dogs with him, as if to kind of send them out first. And then, so I don't know what could happen, if the dogs would have gotten him, then what does that mean? Does Dogman, come in? And I don't even know. So jumping ahead now to 1977, a woman was driving near a wooded area down the road when suddenly something started crossing in front of her. It wasn't a deer. Instead, she was scared because this thing had canine-like features. However, it was standing on 2 feet and had the posture of a human. So hundreds of sightings have been reported, several locations throughout Michigan. I showed the main area. It really is more of like the northwestern quadrant of Michigan. Although it has, there have been stories lower than that. Most of the time, lower peninsula, not really upper peninsula. Stories range from just spotting the Dogman in a wooded area. Others have said they've had close encounters with him. I've heard stories of people hearing something at night outside their house. They go looking out their window and Dogman is looking in back at them, which I couldn't handle that. I would not want to see anything staring back at me. You're what it is while looking out the window. So Dogman, to me, like I said at first, I always kind of classified him in with Bigfoot. However, he almost has more like werewolf-like features.
Yeah.
Everything we've heard about the werewolf.
Right.
Could Dogman be a possibility? Could he be real? And is this something along the lines of, maybe werewolves are real and they're here in Michigan?
You say Michigan Dogman like Michigan J Frog. I don't believe this at all. I think if they saw anything, it was most likely a bear, because I've seen lots of like black bears, and I feel like I can't believe that's a black bear. Like, they always take on different postures, different shapes, especially depending on different times of the season. Are they coming out of hibernation? Are they getting ready to go into hibernation? That sort of a thing. You see one walking on, 2 legs. That's fairly common. They have a snout like a dog. They have the long canine teeth, all that stuff. I would not be surprised if one had pecs of sort, maybe even some abs. Like, who knows? Like I said, different times of the season, bears are going to look a little bit different. As far as the Native Americans telling stories, the first thing I thought of was peyote and peace pipes. So they've gone on a lot of spiritual journeys. So I'm not going to take a word about what the Native Americans have to say. That's no disrespect to Native Americans. They just appreciate their psychedelics. And who's to say that those guys way back then weren't experimenting with some peyote, you know? Like, who knows? Again, I wasn't there. I'm having a hard time grasping any of this. If anybody saw anything, it was a bear. That's my thought.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Then, do bears run with packs of dogs?
The bear could be chasing a pack of dogs. Maybe that's why I've never heard of wild dogs in Michigan. What year was that story? Story?
This was in 1937.
37.
Now,
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think, I do feel, and I'll tell you why, I do believe that wild dogs are completely a thing. Actually, while doing research, I was remembering, so like back in like 2018, housing market was crashing, everything was bad, people were poor, right? I'm sorry, in
Yeah.
08, not 18.
Yeah.
And
There are poor people in 18 too.
yeah. True. And
Yeah.
so, but especially during that time, there were more reports in the Detroit area of people abandoning their dogs.
Right.
They were
Mhm.
releasing them. And so back in those days, I used to do a lot of urban exploring and taking a lot of pictures and rundown buildings. Detroit was a great place for that. Now, there were actual packs of dogs around the Packard plant in
Mhm.
that area. And theory is that people were just kind of abandoning their dogs, and the dogs were kind of getting together. It's a natural instinct
Yeah.
for things like that to happen, where packs will just be created, especially when abandoned. And if they had been abandoned long enough, they'll just kind of create that. So I'm not even that, like that I get. Like if there were packs of dogs, yeah, I mean that's interesting, especially around the Muskegon River, of all things.
Yeah.
So to me, if
Yeah.
anything, that makes this situation more unique. Like, why are there packs of wild dogs? If that didn't
Right.
why
Yeah.
he said, and he has told Robert Fortney has told this story many times. He has stuck to this story and
Yeah.
swears by it. So I get what you're saying, Brad. Like, how packs of dogs, like why are they running around Michigan? But it does happen. It happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that part, but I feel like a pack of wild dogs in rural Michigan in
Yeah.
1930, that would be a little bit more rare. I feel
Yeah.
like either the bear, if there's dogs involved, I think the bear was chasing the dogs, or maybe the dogs were, messing around with the bear. Like maybe they were getting ready to eat. Like let's say there are a pack of dogs that just got together, formed their pack, and maybe they're just looking for something to eat, and they saw this guy coming, and when he shot the gun, they took off, and then the bear's like, "Hey, what's going on over there?"
Right.
But
And
if
you
he
don't
was so
think
afraid
that
of this, if he was so afraid of this mystical creature, why didn't he try to shoot it? Because I think if I saw something I was afraid of and couldn't explain back then, 1930, whatever it was, that would have been my first instinct, is to be like, I don't know what that is. I'm going to shoot it. So,
I mean, that makes sense, but I still think that this guy, Robert, could probably tell the difference between a bear and a dog. Like, I feel like he didn't look at it and go, "What's that?"
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
they
he would
stared
be
at
like,
each other
"That's
for
a
quite a while.
bear." If it was a bear, I think he would know it was a bear.
I feel the same
you
about the
know?
loggers.
So.
The loggers were used to bears.
Yeah.
That was common.
Right.
That was common.
yeah.
This was
Yeah.
the thing that they were like, what the hell is this? That's
Right.
Yeah. The one thing I did want to bring up is the sound. They said they heard it coming, and it sounded more like a howl.
Yeah, like a human scream, howl.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard like a bobcat scream?
Oh yeah, it does sound like a woman.
It's
A
a
woman,
terrifying sound. It definitely, I
Mhm.
would not mistake it for an animal.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that sound could also be a possibility.
Okay.
Or other animals for that matter. Lots of animals make lots of weird sounds. So the lady though with the animal running across the street, I still feel like that was a bear. Or
Just waiting for you to say a deer.
no.
I don't know. For me, I just feel like these people are used to being in the woods, probably even more than modern day people. And I feel like they know the difference between a dog and a bear and a deer and a bobcat. Like the reason why they're reporting it is because it didn't fall in any of those categories. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fair argument. But again, trail cams, you can't get video of this. Now, I understand these stories are from the past, but if this thing exists in the modern world, it
Right.
would have been seen, possibly even captured or accidentally killed.
Gotcha. The thing that fascinates me is I understand one of your points is like mass hysteria and how like people get these ideas and then they're passed on and then you're looking for it and stuff. But there's like 100 years in between these sightings, and then there's also hundreds of cases. So this is not like, within a few months. This is like lots of time has passed in between these stories. So I just don't think that this would be a case of like mass hysteria or the power of suggestion, So because these sightings have been reported, throughout different parts of Michigan, plus over years and years and years of time in between.
If you look up to the sky on a cloudy day, you can make out shapes, and I'm sure you can make out that shape over hundreds of years. Now, we know they're clouds, but I might say that looks like a alligator, and you might say that cloud looks like a dinosaur, but somewhere along the line, somebody is going to be like, oh no, that cloud looks like an alligator. So I just feel like sooner or later, you're going to see the same thing. You know what I mean? Like if I show you an abstract painting of like ink art, somebody's going to say that ink art looks like an octopus. Like you're going to get two octopuses. You're going to get two people saying that one picture that is indescribable. Oh, I see an octopus in that photo. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I just feel like they're describing this the same way, and there's no other ones that are like, oh no, we saw an alligator man. No, everybody's seeing dog man. They're not seeing alligator man and butterfly man. They're
Do
seeing
you think
they're seeing dog man?
Dog man. They're seeing dog man.
He's a
Do you think a bear
creature.
looks like a dog? Do you think a bear looks like a dog?
No.
No.
Do you think? Did you not know? Like, was it China? They were passing a dog off as a bear, and people were buying this. This dog is a bear. I think
there's certain breeds, but are they common in Michigan?
There is a breed of bear. There's a breed of bear that families have adopted because they've mistaken it for a dog.
Well, I think there are certain breeds that look like a bear.
So a bear looks like a dog.
No, I think there are certain dogs that look like bear.
Oh, you're saying the same thing. A dog can't look like a bear. A dog cannot look like a bear if a bear does not look like a dog. Like that, the connection has to be made. You cannot have a dog look like a bear, but a bear not look like a dog.
I think there can be bears that look like a dog.
Okay, thank you.
But I just don't think they run in packs with other dogs. I don't think they're confused, so they don't like hang out with dogs because they think they're a dog.
I think they're separate incidents. It's the bear and the dogs were not a posse together.
That's the way it was reported. I mean,
that's the way it was reported. All that guy knows is that he had a group of dogs coming at him that looked hungry and they were probably going to eat him. So he shot it. That the bear could have been chasing the dogs.
This thing was actually came along with the other dogs on all fours. It started out on all fours. And I do understand bears will run on all fours.
It's
do
the
get
fastest
that.
way to travel.
However,
And then he ripped his shirt off and was like,
I'm
how he
Dogman. I'm Michigan Dogman.
Now, I actually have a very important question for you, Brad.
Okay.
What bear is best?
It's
False. It's black bear.
but I knew that was the answer, but I like grizzly bears. So
Beats
Battlestar Galactica. Yes. I knew that answer.
Love it.
But why would he pick black bears?
I don't know. I've seen some of those up close. They're not as big.
I've seen one running
No,
across
they're
the
not very
road
big.
before.
Yeah.
I've seen up north.
Up there. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. I get that, a lot cryptid creatures, especially, it is very easy to come up and say, hey, it was an animal. I mean, it could have been any type of wild animal. And nowadays, when you have people who are getting like exotic animals and bringing them to areas where they don't want or releasing them into the wild where they shouldn't, you don't even know what you're going to get. You could get alligator man, Jamie.
I was just alligator. There's an alligator in Detroit on Belle Isle.
Belle Isle.
Belle
Hey, it
Isle.
was captured today by two guys in a net.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I saw that.
I would not be able to handle that one at all.
No.
Did you see that story, Jen?
No.
There was an wild alligator on Belle Isle.
Yep.
Which is a nice little island off of Detroit. If you guys haven't been, it's a little park. It's fantastic, but
so beautiful. There should not be crocodilators there, though. I'll tell you that.
No.
No.
Now, I've heard of plenty of situations where there have been gators in basements in Detroit for other reasons.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
happens a lot.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe one of those got loose. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're probably hungry.
Yeah, which in certain areas, Detroit being one of them, sometimes if you want to scare somebody into giving back money they owe you, you get yourself a pet gator and you keep them in the basement. And then that's a great scare tactic. And it has happened a lot in the Detroit area. And then like I've heard, so the police will come in and bust this house and there's like gators in the basement. I'm like, oh my God.
That's nuts.
But you imagine you come in and you're met with that, forget it. Forget it. That would flush my toilet. I would be done. I'm out. I would hang up my badge. I'd be like, nope, I can't do that.
Yeah. No.
Forget it. I would rather deal with the drug dealers and the murderers than finding that. All right. So, Brad, you are no dog man.
No dog man.
Okay. Jamie, what do you think?
Bear man, maybe.
Bear man.
I feel like there is something, and I feel this way about most cryptids. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's creatures that we just don't know what they are, So, but I'm not 100% on board that it's like a dog creature hybrid sort of thing, but I just don't know what it is. But I don't think it was a bear because I feel like people would say, we saw this weird bear,
Right.
So
that's especially like, having, yes, I bet you then that boy could probably have been able to tell the difference between a bear and something else. The loggers for sure. The loggers get me more than anybody because they've seen so many types of wild animals that if this scared two large men who can hit the logs.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you ever wish you could time travel?
What it is?
Don't you ever wish you could time just to observe? Like if you could be a ghost, and maybe that's what ghosts are. Maybe they're just time travelers who aren't allowed to interfere. So they just observe life. But anyway, like it would be so amazing to just go observe, like, what did these people see? Like, what was going on? That sort of
I would
thing.
love that.
Yes.
Yes, I would love that for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I would take a photo of the bear.
Be like, look at this bear.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We're going to move on from Dogman and Grizzly Man, and we're going to move to San Pedro, the San Pedro Haunting, which I have not heard of this one either. So
No,
this is
me
new,
neither.
new. This is totally fascinating. So in 1989, Jackie Hernandez started hearing strange noises and banging in her ceiling. One night she noticed that the attic door was actually open. Now, I have seen the attic myself. So it's one of these that's like we have it in my garage. So it's one of those where it's like got the slide, it's like flat. And then you kind of have to get up there and like move the actual
Okay.
Yeah.
out of the
Okay.
ceiling. It almost looks like a piece of the ceiling. You got to move it,
Right. Yeah.
get up there. So that had moved, which is not easy to do. So it's just like her. She's a single mom. She just has 2 young kids. How did that happen? So she decides, she's brave, maybe braver than me, and she goes in to take a peek in the attic to see what it could be. Now she gets up there and she sees what appears to be a disembodied face of an old man, which actually comes at her and then eventually disappears. But this thing like came at her. Like I said, no one else was in the house. Frightened and unsure of what she had was going to do about this because the noises have been happening. So she apparently she'd actually talked to a neighbor. She freaked out, left the house, got her neighbor. The neighbor said, "We got to bring some people in to check it out, right? You call the Ghostbusters." So they contacted a group of paranormal investigators. And the group themselves were actually quite skeptical of the situation. They were like a face coming at you. Like they were like, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
So they kind of spent some time in the house. They walked around, kind of got a feel for the place. One had even said they observed kind of a bad smell, almost kind of like the rotting meat type smell, which is never a good sign, especially in the paranormal. So they decided, well, let's go check the attic out. This is where it all happened. So to the investigators, Jeff Wheatcraft and Gary Bohm decided they were going to go in the attic and find out where this banging was coming from. Because when they first got in there, not much was going on. And then after a little while, the banging started. So they're like, okay, let's go check it out. We go and look in the attic. They're up there in the dark and they can hear Jeff screaming. Neither one of them brought a flashlight up there. So what Gary did is because he couldn't figure out what was going on, he couldn't see where Jeff was at while he was up there. So he has his camera. So he just starts hitting the camera to get the flash going, just to illuminate the place a little bit more. And what ended up happening is he took probably some of the most famous pictures in paranormal history, where he looks over and you can see Jeff, the other investigator, is hanging from the attic ceiling. Somehow in those few seconds, a wire ring had been placed around his neck, and then that had been taken and attached, pulled up off the ground in the attic and hung by this thing and a nail in the wall where he was hanging there. So the pictures, and I had sent you guys pictures earlier of, and that was accidental because he was just trying to light the room up to see what the heck was going on.
Right.
When he get it back, that's when he can see Jeff is hanging, but he couldn't figure out how. So he goes over, he gets him, and he said it took a little while because it was hooked on this nail. He actually had to bend the nail down to release him from where he was at. And we will post pictures. I'll make sure show them, because you guys have seen them, how he was actually hanging from the ceiling. He looked like a nude, right? It looks like a nude. It looks like he's hanging from it. So this freaked everybody out. They were done. Jackie herself, she moved out the next day.
She's like, nope, don't like that.
Nope, don't like that. She TFO'd, and she was done. Now, even to this day, from what I understand, the house is being rented out still, but nobody can stay there. No one lives there for more than 1 to 2 months, just because the
Wow.
activity is still happening. So you guys have seen the pictures. I think I know what Brad's going to say, but I want to know what Brad has to say about the pictures.
This has hoax written all over it for me. I didn't see the guy hanging. It looked like he was listening to the ceiling from the attic. Why would you go into the attic without a light? Flash photography is not a sufficient way to light a room at all. I mean, you're talking every 5 seconds at that. Like, when was this happening? Was this the 80s?
Yeah, 89.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so your photo, like I'm thinking of a disposable camera. It didn't look like professional photo or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't see the guy hanging. It just looked like he had his head pressed against the ceiling.
Okay.
Like you don't see his, I don't remember seeing his feet. Was his feet off the ground? Do we see
Apparently
that?
his feet were off the ground.
Apparently, but do we see it in the photos?
No, you don't get to see his feet off the ground. It was
No.
reported that his feet were off the ground.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. This just feels like a hoax. They did so much of why would you even do that sort of a thing.
But-
like, go ahead.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, why
Take
would
a
they?
flashlight with them to the attic?
Well, yeah, that too, for sure. I would never go up there without a flashlight.
Like,
But
what are they
if
doing
they
up
were
there
going to
without a
make
flashlight?
up a story, if they're going to make up a story, why not why not say, oh, and then there was a noose? Like, why a random wire? Like nobody, a wire.
Well, not only that, his
You know?
face wasn't even red. If it had taken several minutes, like he would have lost consciousness. It did not look like his body was just hanging there. Nothing about his posture said he was hanging there. It just looks like a photo op. It just looks like something they staged. Like there's nothing about the photos that I saw was convincing of any sort of haunting.
So this was video footage as well that I had seen, and I will make sure to put those links in the show notes as well. Now there is, they do show Jeff coming down from the attic, and they do show his neck after. It's clear there is a red ring around, as if the thing had been pressed for a while. So you do get to see more of that afterwards. There was the camera crew was down below as they had gone up into the attic and then had come back.
Conveniently.
They're investigating. They're investigating. That was the whole deal, is they had everything there. Now, here's what I will say as far as the flashlights go. Many, and I wouldn't be one of them, just because I'm afraid of stepping where I shouldn't and I fall. And, you know what I'm saying? So I would always make sure to have a flashlight. But you would be surprised. There's a lot of people who just go into the dark. They turn the lights out because they want to be in there. Their equipment is better in the dark.
Yeah, there's some infrared, cameras and things like that.
Right. And so I will say there's a lot of investigators who purposely go into the dark without those things. Yeah, I wouldn't be one of them, just because I don't want to step into a hole. I think you have to be safe first and foremost when you're investigating that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's uncommon. And the door was open. That's the thing. Maybe once they got up there, they thought maybe there's enough light coming up there. I don't know what their thinking was on that. But that was his initial thought, was to get the flash, turn the flash on just to kind of illuminate things. So I will say that about that.
If there was infrared camera, like they conveniently left it downstairs. Everything is coincidentally not happening in favor of the story. And as far as the red mark around the guy's neck, I made a video one time where I got hit in the head with a puck. I worked at an ice rink, and I was like, let's make a video. I had a guy shoot a puck. I did like a split screen sort of a thing. So I just reacted to me getting hit with a puck, So he shot the puck. I was not in frame, but I spliced the two images together so it looked like I got hit, and I animated a puck coming at me. It looks fantastic. Anyway, I had a red mark on my forehead. To get this red mark, I took an actual puck and I rubbed it on my forehead for about 10 minutes, and it actually hurt. Like, my forehead was sore. However, there was a red mark on my forehead. So, I mean, anything could be faked. None of this sounds plausible to me. And I would love to talk to somebody that can't seem to stay there for more than 2 months.
Good too, actually.
I would like to see a credit score too.
Yeah.
By chance.
I don't know. Some things that have me leaning in favor of believing it is that the paranormal investigators were like, when they first got there. So they weren't like, yeah. But also that she reported a head, and a wire seems like it could behead somebody. That it was a disembodied head. So those kind of go together. But I mean, again, we weren't there. It's like, it's very hard. All we have is this, all we have
exactly.
is this.
Exactly.
This is it. But I don't know. There's so many stories like this one. It's just hard for me to believe that they're all fake. Just in my opinion.
Everybody's looking for 15 minutes. So
I don't know. I wasn't. I didn't want it. I didn't want the 15 minutes.
Again, I wasn't there. I don't know. So
yeah.
I believe you believe it happened. I believe I could fix it to where it would never happen.
I can tell you, I love sleep, and I was not getting sleep, and I would have given money to just have a peaceful night's sleep. So yeah. I love sleep.
Jennifer, we haven't heard your opinion on any of these. Like, what do you think about each story?
So my thing is, I'm open, right? I'm open to any of this stuff.
Sure.
I truly am. I am a believer of aliens and life on other planets. I do believe that they've been here. I think that they have taken us. I know this because if you watch the past life regression episode, in my previous life, I was abducted by aliens. So it happens. And I also don't think all the aliens are nice either. I think they're like humans, in a sense, right? You're gonna have good ones and bad ones. I had talked to a friend of mine after I had the past life regression, and I told her this, and she said, "But the aliens are supposed to be nice." I said, "Says who?"
Yeah. Where do you get that intel from?
I mean, they may not want like world domination necessarily. However, I mean, I think they're just as curious about us as we are them. Talk about Native American times, talk about long, long ago. There's all kinds of cave drawings of UFOs from even then. This is nothing new. A lot of this stuff isn't new, right? This is stuff that goes way back beyond our time, including ghosts and spirits and Dogman and extraterrestrials. So, these are stories that have been passed down for a long, long time, and I'm open to any and all of it. The particular alien footage and that situation in Miami, for me, is questionable, because someone would have gotten something. Someone had their phones. They would have been a sneaky peek. They would have gotten out of there with their phone and everything intact, and that would have been released for sure. I'm a little bothered by because the footage we're seeing was played on the news. And I like to sometimes think and hope that a news station would vet, some of their stuff a little bit more, whatever, unless they were doing it going, hey, this is something kind of fun that happened during that time.
Right.
But I like to think that the news reports on, trying to get the facts out, we know that's not always the truth, and that's always happening. So that particular alien situation, I may have a little bit of trouble with. I found it to be a super interesting story.
Because,
how fun, right? Especially if there was a portal. Hell yeah. If there's a portal and then military came out of that portal and drove,
that would be amazing.
I'm here for it.
Oddly enough,
I'm going to produce that one.
Yeah, oddly enough, the military coming out of the portal makes the portal a little bit more plausible for me.
That's
If a
funny.
bunch of Marines came out of there, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so there's this part of me that's like, I think that sounds kind of cool. It's also super scary because what the heck was going on, and also how big they are. They're talking 8 to 10 feet here.
Yeah.
Which is, what the heck is that?
That's crazy.
So I like my aliens shorter. I want to be spectacular if I have to.
Right.
That's too large for me. So, yeah, I mean, so yes, maybe not so much this particular story. I am a believer in extraterrestrials and aliens. Dogman, I'm into it a bit. I'm kind of into this. And like I said, because
you just want to rescue them.
I would have the house. I'd be here in my basement with my alligator and my
plenty
cats.
of room, dog man.
I would adopt it.
Adopt, don't shop.
Right. It doesn't have to be purebred. We love him anyway.
Yeah.
He's our mutt. No, and I think that'd be good protection to have at the house if you had a dog.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
And Roscoe would be like, just as long as I get my treats, he can, treats were fine. So I think Dogman, there's potential for me on this one too. I mean, if you're a believer in cryptids, which Brad isn't, but if you're open to that, I could definitely see a creature such as that existing. I'm telling the loggers are what really gets me in this one.
Yeah.
They know bears. They've seen all the weird, wild creatures out there, and if this is the thing that freaked them out, just the standing, just something that tall, standing up, and I get it. To me, like when I'm hearing what Dogman looks like, I really picture more of a werewolf more than anything now. And to me, when I think of a werewolf, like I feel like that's more of a thinner creature. A bear to me is like wider when standing and large like that. So I'm okay with the Dogman theory.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
He's a Michigan good time. Be our new mascot.
Yeah.
And as far as the haunting, I am, obviously, yes, you're going to have your people who want, that the fame, they're going to want that. But once again, I swear sometimes these ghosts come after like single moms, especially because she looks exhausted or
exactly.
right. I mean, that sounds like a fun time. And so and you hear these stories of people who can't get out of their situation. This thing that makes me believe this is she got out.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not staying.
Yeah, if she wanted that, she would have stayed. She would have had the book deal. She would have had the movie deal. We would have seen this movie by now, right? I mean,
sure.
And she would have stayed because she handle it. No, she was poor. And she actually, what had happened was she went back to her ex-husband. Just to get out of it. So,
is he the one that staged it? Is he the ghost?
No, I think
I'll get her back.
right.
I'll drive her back into my arms.
Exactly.
I know what to do. Yeah.
So I think that's my thing is like, and this was reminiscent to me when we had talked about the Enfield poltergeist haunting with that, mother for poor and struggled and she couldn't leave. However, the family that came after, another single mother with just as many children, she was like, no, the same things were happening to her. And she's like, I'm getting out. I don't, so this is a situation to me where there was no big story or movie deal or book deal or she stuck around because she couldn't afford it. No, she got out. So for me, that almost seals the deal for me more. And obviously, Jaime, we've talked about your situation and a lot of people's situations. You can't think, people don't have the luxury of being able to pick up and get out of their haunted houses all the time.
No.
And so that's what seals the deal for me on that story. And Brad, I'm right there with you though. That you can set those things up. You can make.
Yeah.
You can do that, and you
There's
can
makeup
easily-
artists. I mean, there's,
Sure.
And I'm even okay with them being in the dark,
Mhm.
but not having a flashlight, especially if things go awry.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Like,
I
let's
just
go up
know-
there, no flashlights on, but
Maybe.
in our hand.
Yeah, I get that. I know plenty of people who don't, and I think it's crazy.
Mhm.
I don't go
Mhm.
anywhere
Mhm.
like that, and not even just because a ghost may come out of nowhere. It's honestly more of like a bat. If a bat
Yeah.
is coming in, I need to see it.
Oh yeah,
Like I need.
Oh yeah, bats. Mm-mm.
Like it
I had a
did that.
bat one time in the old house.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
That
my
was
least
creepy.
favorite thing about ghost hunting. I can handle
Yep.
the dead people. I can't
Mhm.
handle the bats. I'm not here for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, you need a flashlight for the bats. Worst case scenario.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there had to have been
Exactly.
you got to be careful in an attic because there's plenty of bats in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
for sure.
That's my thinking of why you would definitely need a light. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I can't explain why they didn't have a light, or maybe this whole situation almost sounds like it happened so quick. I mean, maybe they were waiting to have people hand them, stuff up. Maybe they handed him his camera first. Maybe because
Yeah.
Yeah.
shimmying up this, attic, and we'll all see it. I'll make sure to put everything so you guys can see what I'm
Yeah.
because it's literally like a cutout in the ceiling. If you're
Right.
boosting yourself up there, you're not going to do it with your
Be
your
holding
regular
everything. Yeah.
camera. You're gonna hoist yourself up there. You're gonna help maybe someone else, and then they're gonna hand you your goods, right? And
Yeah.
so maybe they didn't get that far yet because it sounds like they got up there and then just the poo-poo hit the
Mhm.
propeller before it too far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a possibility. And I was, when they said that they were skeptics, I love investigators that go in skeptical. I think that's smart.
Right.
You can't take everything.
I got dogs.
Dogman. It's Dogman.
Dogs wanting out.
I
I'm
got
gonna have to
cats.
go
I
do
got dogs.
that.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
You-
We're gonna talk a little bit about our horror movie of the week. And yeah, Brad, guess first. You share with us your spooky pick.
Man, I have 3 movies that I constantly go to as far as like if I want to be scared or uncomfortable.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with the one that really scared me, and and I'm sure some people are gonna roll their eyes when I say this, but the Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
I
that was-
will not roll my eyes at you at all.
Mm-mm. That
Yeah.
freaked me out.
Like hindsight, I don't think people would appreciate it today. But going into
different
that movie, we thought it was real.
Absolutely.
The campaign was real. It was found footage. Nobody had ever done anything like that before. Like
Mhm.
the footage was off of video camera, like high 8 cameras. Like the way it was done and marketed. They had a documentary on I think it was the Sci-Fi Channel
Sci-fi,
before.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I was sucked in. I was like, oh my God, this is messed up. It took me a long time to accept that it was fake. Like it was a gradual process. I was like, okay, I'm willing to say that they were actors, but the story was real. Like it was so hard for me to not believe it. And like there was the marketing behind it. Like there were books you could buy and stuff just for the Blair Witch Project. It was
the marketing
insane.
was
And
brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
it was an
scary.
amazing movie. And at the very end, spoiler alert, but the movie's only almost 30 years old. So there's a scene at the end where the dude is in the corner of this room, and then the camera just drops down to the side. So it's like the last surviving member sees the person in the corner, and then they just drop. And my OG house, the first house that I ever bought at the time, had an unfinished basement, and there was like 2 cellar doors that walked up to the stairs that go out to the garage. The corner of those cellar stairs looked exactly like that corner that dude was standing in.
Yeah.
And
Ew.
my computer used to be in the basement, and there was a time when I thought I heard a noise. I would just leave the computer on and I would just bolt upstairs. Like, again, that's tomorrow's problem. And it's just me against my imagination. There was never a ghost or anything like that. There was never hauntings. Like I never thought, and that would have been the time to convince me You know, like I was a young homeowner. Like I could have been persuaded into the paranormal, but there was never anything like that. I would just creep myself out, and it was
Sure.
time to go upstairs. So for me, the Blair Witch Project, if you haven't seen it, if you could just
It's freaky.
shut off everything you know about it
Yeah.
and just go into it thinking it's real and what you're watching is actually happening.
Yeah.
One of the most terrifying movies ever.
I made a blanket fort to watch it.
You did?
Yeah.
Saw that. Yeah, in the
I love
living
that.
room.
When
was
those hands
so
are hitting the
awesome.
tent,
Yeah.
like that, the blanket fort made me think of that. The hands are hitting the tent. They would just find stick figures in the woods.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
oh man, it was creepy. I could have been a believer from that point.
Yeah.
Like if certain things happened in my life after that, I would have been completely on board to witches, to ghosts, to all that stuff. Probably not cryptids though, never Bigfoot. But everything else, I would have been on board.
Maybe
So.
that's what the Blair Witch was the whole time. It was just Bigfoot trying to get in the tent.
Yeah.
He's cold. Let him in.
Or
Dogman.
Dogman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Dogman's only in Michigan. Weren't they out in
Yeah.
like, Massachusetts?
That's right. Yeah. I
Ooh,
think
yeah.
so.
Was it Massachusetts or
I think
Maryland?
so. Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I just
Maryland?
assume all witches are in Massachusetts.
You're right.
yeah. As they should be.
True. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No, excellent pick. That movie was scary. I saw it opening night because I had seen the sci-fi thing as well, thinking it was completely real. I mean, at
Yep.
19, I think it was like 19 when it came out at the time, and I was in it. I was like, no, this is real. I remember taking my roommate and saying, we got to see this movie. And I remember opening night, and it was, mortified. I was scared. I came home. I struggled to sleep that night, the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It took me a while. I went with a group of friends. It took me a while to unwind.
Mhm.
You had to let go.
Mhm. It was
Yes.
creepy. It was a good one
Yep.
for sure.
No,
Yep.
good
Yep.
choice. Good choice. But I know what you're saying. You know, today, by horror standards, it may not be, I know a lot of people know or they hear about it or whatever the case may be, but man, I want to be like, oh, back in our day, but I mean, for its time, and especially with the internet was still pretty new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had a
Yeah.
huge internet presence, which had never been done before for
Right.
a film like that. And it was just
Yeah.
the market. I don't know. I say good luck to anybody who can come up with a better marketing plan than that movie did. I'm jealous as a film
Yeah, it was
producer. I wish I
great.
could.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that good because it was. It had people believing it really did. I think it still kind of holds up today. I do. I mean, like you said,
Yeah,
I-
me
go
too.
into it.
I don't even remember hearing that people didn't like it until
Yeah.
like weeks later. And then I was like, what? Like, how could you not like it was blowing my mind that they're like, this was the dumbest movie ever. I'm like, do you not know what happened to these kids?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Just because I was
Yeah.
so on board. Like it blew my mind that people didn't enjoy it. So
Yeah.
Right. And it kind of kicked off that found footage style, like Paranormal Activity and, Cloverfield,
started that
and, some
whole-
of those.
Yeah. I'm not, we're not saying it's the first found footage, but it was definitely brought in that the genre was a
Yes.
thing after that. for
It-
sure.
yeah. For a while, it became popular.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. No, excellent choice. Do you want to give us your other two? Why not?
I mean, I would have said Jaws. I mean, that's my all-time favorite, and that one really affected me to the point where even in a swimming pool, I know there's no shark in the swimming pool, but as my toe is coming out of the water, it's like my head would always be like, there's a shark about to grab your foot. So I would have to get out of the pool as fast as possible. And then the other one was going to be Dawn of the Dead, the remake. I just love it. Zombie movies in general make me feel uncomfortable. They're really the only horror movies outside of the Blair Witch Project that actually scare me a little bit.
Okay.
Like I grew up watching slasher movies and stuff. That stuff, no effect on me whatsoever.
Right.
The zombie movies made me feel weird.
Okay.
So, and I was thoroughly entertained by the Dawn of the Dead remake. So I really did like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. All right. Thanks for sharing all those
Yeah, you're welcome.
bonus movies this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Jamie, do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Either way.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So my pick this week is the film The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Have you guys seen this one?
No.
Nope.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've heard of it,
I
but
think it's
I have not seen
absolutely
it.
brilliant. It stars Brian Cox and Emil Hirsch, who I think are two of our finest actors out there today. It's directed by Andre Overdal, who is a Norwegian director. He's known for the film Troll Hunter, and he also directed the brought from the books Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Did you guys have those books growing up?
No,
Oh,
no, but I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
love
Mhm.
them. Oh my gosh, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I absolutely love those books. So good. I had all like the classic, like the woman who always wore a ribbon around her neck. And then
Oh,
on her deathbed, she released it, and and the ribbon was the only thing keeping her head on.
oh.
Oh, yeah. I do
Now,
remember those
scary stories to
stories.
tell in the dark. Were they more like child oriented or were they adult oriented?
I mean, it was for children. But once
Okay.
again, this is like, the children of the 80s, which is a different breed.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like Hayden couldn't read these stories today. He'd be like, "What? Her head fell off?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, her head fell off," because it's a different time.
Right, right.
And so, yes, it was for children, but yeah, the stories were creepy. I mean, this was, I think, like the teenagers who were parking out, urban legend type stuff. They're out
Okay.
walking in the car, but they hear a thud on the top
Yeah,
of the car,
yeah.
and they finally come out, and it's someone hanging from the tree.
Yes, I've heard
Their
those.
feet are hitting. Yeah, yeah. So it's these type of stories. So
Hmm.
yeah, amazing, especially when you're a kid. That stuff was great.
Yes.
So, this was written by Ian Goldberg and Richard Nang, who are a team. They come as a pair. The more I looked into them, so they were the ones who writ them. They wrote the most the current Conjuring film that's out now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
They've done several episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. A really good
Cool.
movie by the name of Eli, which I had seen more of an independent horror film. Super interesting. If you guys get a chance, check out Eli. And they also wrote The Nun too. So they are really
Oh,
Okay.
in the Conjuring Warren movie arena, these two.
Okay.
So yes. Um, Once again, I'm not good at summarizing. So I want to thank Nick Reganis because I stole it off IMDb. Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
Here we go. A forensic crew finds the body of an almost intact and exceptionally preserved young woman in her mid-20s amongst a crime scene of a brutally murdered couple. Amid a huge media frenzy, Sheriff Sheldon enlists the help of the experienced coroner in town, Tommy Tilden, and his son Austin, played by Brian Cox and Emil Hirsch, entrusting them with the emergency autopsy of this Jane Doe. In hopes of finishing early, Austin, the son, decides he's going to stay with his father. They have their own like funeral home, the whole shebang, and they work together. And hoping I'll stay, we'll get this over with, and it will be a quiet night, and we'll be done. However, the peat under the cryptic woman's fingernails, her severed tongue, and her completely shattered joints strongly implied that this will not just be another ordinary case. Without delay, the two coroners begin to work, only to plunge themselves deeper and deeper into the world of impossible occurrences and equally inexplicable findings. Then, in the dead of night, something eerily strange happens. Can they unearth Pale Jane's morbid secret? See, I couldn't write like that. So thank you, Nick. Thank you for that. So yeah, so these guys are a couple of, funeral home workers. They are just trying to do the autopsy to figure out what the heck happened. Why is this dead body so intact when, why is she there with this murdered couple? So
right.
it is literally them doing this autopsy, finding like out all these clues of what's going on. Meanwhile, eerie things are happening around them. This is just like last week. I talked about this before. This takes place in pretty much one room.
I love that. Yeah.
Love it. So this is great. The acting is fantastic. I just, Brian Cox, who was he was also in The Ring, which is the remake of The Ring, which
I love
Mhm.
Brian Cox.
I think he's fantastic. Emil Hirsch is great. So it's really just these two actors working with one another, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It has great atmosphere. I mean, it is really eerie, everything that's kind of going on. And the more you wonder, I kind of think that this is, I don't even want to say it's necessarily underrated. I think people who see it, they're like, yeah, that was great. It's just that not as mainstream as maybe some of the other
Right.
films that are
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, great story that always keeps you guessing. And I was completely satisfied with the ending, which is also really difficult to do, I think, in horror. How many movies have we seen? I mean, slasher movies aside or whatever, even they have like more
Yeah.
satisfying endings, even if they come back
Yeah.
at the end or they're missing in the end. Boy, some of the horror movies, especially today, will just end. And I hate
I hate that. The ending, if the ending is bad, it ruins the whole
You're
movie
done.
for me.
Yep.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Done.
The ending matters for
It
sure.
matters. It matters. So this
Yes. I love that you're bringing these little known movies. I am totally into exploring those.
Yes.
So I love
Yes.
it.
I love finding little indies
Gems.
that, I think that's just great. And these are scary, well done movies.
Yeah.
And there's so many that are out there. But this is one of them. And I can't remember the year. I guess I didn't write down the year. It's not that old. 10 years,
Okay.
maybe not even.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's more recent than I was thinking.
I would love it.
Maybe 2015. Yeah, I think that's actually what it was. It was either 2014, 2015.
Okay.
So, yeah, not that old.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
So,
I want to watch Devil and
Yes.
Autopsy of
Jane Doe.
Jane Doe.
Both are
it.
streaming right now.
Cool.
Did you guys mention that last week of where you can find these movies?
Devil,
I
think,
didn't.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out where you can get The Gate. But yes, Devil is on Peacock right now.
The Gate.
Yeah.
I remember The Gate, yeah.
Yes.
It was quirky. I liked it though.
It was a fine movie for the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, everybody run out and go see the Autopsy of Jane Doe. You won't be sorry.
It sounds good.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jamie, let's
I
hear
love it. Okay. Well, my favorite genre of horror movies is where the line's a little blurred between psychological thrillers and paranormal. That is my cup of tea. That's pretty much any movie out there. I'm there. I love those. So I chose Jacob's Ladder.
Yes.
It's right there in that blurry line. So it's the 1990s. It was a little more mainstream. It was starring Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
It also has our friend Jason Alexander in there. He was so Tim Robbins plays the main character Jacob. It was directed by Adrian Lynn, and it was written by Bruce Joel Rubin. Bruce Joel Rubin later went on to win an Academy Award for writing Ghost.
Oh, so awesome. Okay,
that was the ghostwriter.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So my synopsis. So Jacob Singer was a Vietnam veteran. He struggles with terrifying hallucinations and fragmented memories years after returning home. He's haunted by visions of faceless demons. We've talked about faceless things. They're so creepy. Shifting realities, disturbing flashbacks to the war. As Jacob tries to piece together what's happening to him, he begins to suspect he and his fellow soldiers were subjected to a secret military experiment. The deeper he digs, the more his world starts to unravel, blurring the line between reality, paranoia, and the supernatural. Ultimately, Jacob's journey is revealed to be a powerful exploration of death, trauma, and the process of letting go. So there were so many creepy visuals. One that it haunted me forever was the old lady climbing on the ceiling. I hate that.
Yeah.
And it's that choppy, like her bones are contorted and just crawling. I hated that. I hated it and I loved it at the same time because it was like a creepy visual, but I really thought this was well done and it got inside my head. It kind of, it's psychological horror pretty much at the core. But it also has that like surreal kind of nightmare imagery in it. which I like the shaking heads, the
Oh, yeah.
shaking. Oh, that freaks me out. There were so
Oh my God.
many of those that
I remember the
just
dance
get
club.
me.
I remember
And
that too. Yes.
his
Oh,
girlfriend
yeah.
turns into like the split second. Doesn't she turn into a demon for like a split
Something,
second?
yeah,
Or
it's like this
there's
quick,
like a
yeah.
tail
Yeah.
between her legs or something. And
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, as
Yeah.
far as the visualizations go, for
Yeah.
that movie, that was still, I don't think that could be beat. Like
No, it
that's
was
one of the
so
most
good.
messed up things to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
are
was
we allowed to
kind
talk?
of,
Are we allowed to talk spoilers on that?
I think so, especially at this
it's
point.
in 1990, so
Okay.
yeah.
It took me a couple of watches. I think it wasn't until a teacher told me like he's dead on the helicopter. So everything that happens is his life, his would have been life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's also and everybody throughout the film tells him to his face he's dead.
Mhm.
Like you're dead. And
Right.
it's like but it's in context of the conversation they're having. So it's like as a viewer, you don't get it,
It's
until
very
later.
like
But
Sixth
yeah,
Sense type thing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Watching
Yeah.
Sixth Sense for the first time, you don't realize, and then it's like, oh my gosh, and you go back and you look, and you're like, oh, of course, they've
Yeah.
been telling us the whole time, but it's just done so well, like you
It
don't.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this might be a dumb question, but you guys know what Jacob's ladder is?
I know
That's
there's
a DNA, right?
It's a ladder to hell that doesn't end.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you just keep climbing it. Like that's you never stop climbing the ladder.
oh well.
So I think that's
Ooh.
but I think that's a reference to the experiments as well. Like and I mean the title is just so many metaphors. Like that's a
Oh,
metaphor for the Vietnam War,
Right.
a metaphor
Yeah.
for what he's going through. Like it made statements with just the title alone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. But I liked it because it was less like jump scares. So it kind of really got in your head with the paranoia and the confusion. And it was very disorienting.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I really get into that. So it messed with me. And
Yeah.
a lot of the visuals, like you said, they stick with you.
Right.
Yeah, they're the most disturbing images for
Very
sure.
disturbing. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, that's a great choice. Good picks, everybody.
woohoo.
I love it. Then that gives everybody out there some ideas for spooky movie season, and we'll bring more next week too. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
love it. This
All
is my favorite season, spooky season.
Yeah, it's the
So
best. Yes.
it's the best. Well, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. I do want to stress, as much of a skeptic as I am and how passionate I am, again, if any of these things, minus the Bigfoot stuff, happen to me directly, like I would turn on a dime and be a believer. But it's just like I haven't experienced this, and a lot of this to me can easily be explained with other things. So I just feel like I had to say that one more time.
All right. Well, good.
That's okay.
All
I mean,
right.
I don't wish it upon you, but I kind of do, just so
Yeah,
you
like
can-
if Casper's out there, the friendly ghost, hit me up. We'll play some PlayStation or
Right.
something,
But we'll keep an eye out for Skittles.
Skill. Just something unique. That way you guys know. Skittles.
Well, I think we should just have Brad play alone with the Ouija board, and then probably get all kinds of things. So
I'm down.
For
I'm
sure.
down.
You
Just
get ghosts and demons and Bigfoot, Dogman, Algerman. They all be
come through.
showing up for the party.
Just have a Catholic priest on standby, because apparently they're the only religion that can actually save people.
But you don't need one because it's not going to do anything.
No, I don't need one. But
that's right.
All right.
I said on standby.
Yeah. Well, I know someone. I'm not going to say who, that has a lot of Ouija boards on hand. So if you want to,
I'll do it. I am not afraid. I'll do it. So
take your pick.
All right.
Have a variety, themed ones, and everything. Yeah. So you're good.
I want something nostalgic, something from the 80s.
Okay,
Do you have like
that too.
or the 90s? Do you have like a Seinfeld themed Ouija board?
That would have been amazing.
The Office
That would
themed
be.
Ouija board?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They did.
one of those
they have
two.
everything else office themed. Come on, guys. We want an office.
We should pitch that idea.
You
Like,
probably
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
And I mean, I actually have a deck of office tarot cards.
Wow. That's
I mean,
funny.
Can you read tarot cards?
No.
Man, I don't mean to extend this at all, but
No, wait.
okay.
No,
I was gonna say I would be
won't.
down if you wanted to throw some. Yeah, if you want to throw some tarot card reading at me, I would be down with the Office tarot cards.
I think it would be fun. It's awesome. They actually have the characters represent the different arcana in a tarot card deck. It's so cool. I love interesting
awesome.
tarot card decks, but I saw that one. I was like, yep.
Oh yeah, I would buy that one. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
the art is just cool. I'll have to show you guys because you guys would appreciate the pictures and who is standing for what. There's some things I would change. But for the most part, I was like, okay, that's really cool. It makes sense.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
I didn't even know that's a thing.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of
Thanks
fun.
for coming on. This
So,
has been great.
yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yes, make sure to like and subscribe if you are on YouTube and continue to listen to us on Spotify and iHeartRadio. And we're doing really well on Apple Podcasts. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much. And if you have a story about Dogman, ghost stories, Ouija boards, anything like that, if you have a favorite horror movie that you'd like to share with us this spooky season, please feel free to either comment below or you can reach out and email us at unexplainedarchives@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram where we're going to post lots of pictures about everything we talked about.
Yes.
Episode. And yeah.
And I want to say, if anyone has a ghost or apparition that you've seen that is, in parachute pants or something from the 80s or later, we want to see that for sure.
Yes.
We need some modern ghosts.
We would like to know some modern day ghost stories where people have been, modern day clothing.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah,
Bring
that's
it.
me. All right, good deal.
Prince is out there somewhere. He's got to be a ghost.
That's right.
So
All right.
All right, everybody. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you next week.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
bye bye.